Alrighty, chat. Bit of a different type of video. Not a trade recap. It's most just gonna be a trade overview, or a I guess a day review. Because I didn't take any trades, but really wanted to make a video and talk about this just because it was pretty some stuff I can learn from. So, also I lost my voice because today, well, it's the next day now, but Wednesday, right? We'll just say today, right? Argentina. Oh boy, oh my gosh, dude! I'm just thinking about it. Argentina versus England. That shit was fucking crazy. And I lost my voice because Messi, the fucking goat, really came back, bro. In 7 minutes, dude. That like every game they just continue to just come back. It feels like it's insane, bro. It is actually insane. And I feel like I have to sneeze, but like, dude, what the actual fuck, bro? That shit was one of the best games I ever seen as well. That game, the Egypt game, it just doesn't fucking end, bro. Screaming at the top of my lungs, dude. That shit was absolutely insane, bro. Messi is a fucking goat. That shit be motivating me, bro. Even if it's not in soccer, like whatever the fuck it is, bro. Whatever I want to go do, trading, gym, whatever the fuck it is, bro. Messi is such an inspiration, dude. Holy shit. Generational, bro. There would never be someone like him again. But anyways, hopefully I can speak good enough to make this video. But here's what I saw today. There's a couple setups. There's like maybe two. There's like 2 or 3 setups I saw. 4 maybe. We'll go over the A plus ones, the ones I liked. Really wanted to take this, but at the same time I didn't, and there was a couple reasons why. So I'm gonna go over that. What the fuck is this? Web page using significant memory. Shut the fuck up. I don't give a shit. Alright. Starting the market open. For starters, we look insanely bullish if I go to the 4-hour, okay? The 4-hour, the new week opening gap, coming very close to this high up here, bouncing out of this gap here. This is pretty much EQ, this range, and discount. We've just been bull running, we inverse this gap over here, closed above it, respecting this 4-hour, and I'm expecting a push higher. If I go to the hourly, okay, not really rejecting out of anything. We're just kind of just putting in a swing high, swing low. So we got that. We do have this hourly that we tapped up here. So we gotta be careful with that and see if we just barely slightly tapped it, but we gotta see if we're gonna react off that. But inside of that gap, we have this intermediate 15-minute high, so that can be a DOL. We also have London high, which is a daily. We've already swept London low down here. And this leg, we tap into that 4-hour. So this is a protected low in my opinion. Obviously looking for continuations. This looks very, 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 very A plus. As you can see, we're in discount of this range from the 4-hour getting tapped in and respected. So I'm expecting something like this towards that buy side. All right, and when we go to ES, it's pretty much the same shit, right? If it fucking loads, okay, I think I can speak louder and my voice will get. Gosh, my throat hurts like a motherfucker, bro. Alright, ES, we have equal lows down here, but we also have this buy side up here. It's tricky with ES because we'll have equal lows, but like we'll fucking leave them open, if that makes sense. Like we generate equal highs, equal lows, whatever, and we'll go in the opposing direction. So it's really tricky with ES. We do have this buy side up here. Does this get swept? I don't know. Yeah, it does get swept. Yeah, looking back at this, I can kind of see this more clearly. Like here, I can definitely see rejection out of this new week opening gap. Yeah, that was a new week opening gap, so I can definitely see something off of that. In Q, we just overall look pretty bullish, but yeah, one thing is we have PPI today. We had PPI, so we have core PPI, and we have this data low right here from 8:30 news drop. Okay, so off market open, I honestly didn't know what I want to see. If we got a long from here, if we manipulated lower, taking out this lower time frame DOL, I would have liked that. Fill in the 15-minute a little bit more, 30-minute getting tapped, I like that. And then got along, I would have loved that. But off open, we manipulate higher into this hourly, or what the fuck, this untapped 5-minute, and then Yeah, so that eye's protected. So if we get a short eye, it depends. It just really depends. So we get that manipulation lower. We go on the 15-second. There's a beautiful 15-second right here, which looks pretty clean. I don't know if we inverse this or not. Don't end up inversing it, but either way, I wouldn't have taken that. Actually, it depends. We did put in a swing high, which is protected, but we do have equal highs up here. If that's only on the 15-second chart, I don't give a fuck about it. 30-second. Not even, okay, I don't know, it depends. I'll have to be in the moment and figure that out, but we do have a data low above below, so I'll probably wait for that. But if we play this out, market kind of just chops up. We get that bull run a little bit, so we do end up presenting that 15-second. That's just a shit trade, though. I don't see this damn thing I would possibly take. We have a huge knife candle here. Very obvious we're gonna come for this data low. So boom, we sweep out the data low, and at this point in time, I'm waiting for this Asia low to get hit before I look for a long. We put in a high here. I would have loved a fucking long here. This would have been perfect, right? Delete this shit. If you got something like this, oh my gosh, I wouldn't mind targeting higher or just for a 1-to-1, whatever the case may be. But basically, let's just look at what this range is. So we tap more into this gap here. We sweep this Asia low, which is also an unfilled hourly. Okay, see we have an unfilled hourly. What the fuck is this? Why is it so big? Oh, it's because it's the 15-minute. It's more just the hourly. Alright, so we have this hourly that we tap into, and then, yeah, pretty much ES, we do have an SMT that gets put in. ES looks bearish for the moment, but yeah, we do have a pretty fat rejection, so I guess we do look pretty bearish on ES, and NQ just never gave the long, which I would have been open for it, but we end up not getting it. We end up, running lower, and then we get a pullback, right? Mind you, we come pretty close to this sell side, so we come really close to it, essentially forming relatively equal lows, low resistance, and at this point in time, I'm looking for sells, right? I'm not looking for longs. There's no case here I'm looking for longs, but ES looks insanely bullish, so this is where my bias is conflicting, because ES is super bullish, right? We just swept this low inside of our value gap, got a major push higher. We have this buy side above. It's very fucking obvious. ES wants to run higher from what it's telling. In NQ, it looks, if I remove yes, this looks very bullish, and I am bearish now because I want to see the sell side get hit, and we just dump lower, right? Buys are pretty much out of the question unless we pump past this 15-minute BPR, then I could look for longs, but for the moment I'm looking short, so bias is conflicting between both assets, NQ and ES, and this does look like a really good buy here, but I'm gonna let you know why it's conflicting. I'm gonna show you. So on the 5-minute, you can see we have a gap here, and gap up here. Reveal the drawings. So yeah, I was basically just looking for a simple continuation here. We put in the swing low from here up until here. We have OTE, EQ this range, right? 15-minute gets hit, of course, you can see 15-minute opens up, gets hit, 5 minutes end up getting hit. Price ends up running up. We have a steep, low resistance getting generated, so I don't care too much about it. It's mostly about this deal low that we came pretty close to, right? We got this 1 minute. I was hoping we didn't get it. For one, we edged this high up here, right? We edged that 1 minute intermediate high. For two, the main thing is ES looks super fucking bullish. I already went over that. ES looks insanely bullish. And for two, NQ, I didn't like the fact that, for one, this 15-minute got rejected out of very heavily. That rejection looks lethal as fuck. The hourly, we didn't close through that. Let's see actually when. 10 a.m. Like the fact that we didn't close through the hour, that's just bullshit to me, right? And then also just, yeah, bro, markets recently, if we're going the daily time frame, it's a fucking wedge tool. Like the shit's building like a Dorito shape sideways triangle, so it's just a bunch of bullshit, right? We really don't know what's gonna happen. what else can I go over? But yeah, I just really didn't like how bullish this looked. Despite me, my bias being bearish, I was bearish. I just did not like how, the candle, the structure, and everything looked super bullish here. And then, yeah, I didn't, we did have a really a solid entry, right? This one, it didn't end up getting closed through, so I figured we'd probably pump up. But we did have this 30-second that I said if I got close through my, the probabilities of me taking this is going to be much higher. We put in a set of equal lows here, and then we get that 30-second close below, just barely. And then at the same time, we close on the 1 minute, so this is a perfect entry if you're taking this. Equal lows below, we have an unfilled 5 minute here and here. Ends up getting fucking blasted through, small pullback, and then absolutely dumps the full TP. Now the targets we had were just all the sell side here, and then a little bit lower we had that sell side from the previous day, which I don't know how the fuck we did not hit this shit. This was a brutal day, CPI release on Wednesday. Or no, that actually happened on Tuesday. My bad, I'm lost. This trade recaps Wednesday, but I don't know how we didn't hit this DOL. We saved it for later, I guess. So I guess you could have targeted that. Ends up getting hit, and yeah. So I faded this. Like I said, the main reasons were, for one, looked insanely bullish here on NQ. I didn't like that, and for two, I probably would have still taken it. But it's just the fact that ES at the moment looks so fucking bullish. It looks so bullish. I wanted to stay out of that. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. I didn't like that. And there's some small things like this high not getting hit. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But off open, there's no entries. Pull back. We get an entry here. Now, there's another entry that did take place, and that would have been here on the 5 minute. Right, so remove that. Show this 5 minute here. I don't like the close. It looks pretty shit. But this looks pretty good for 1.5R. Looks fucking beautiful, right? Get this 5 minute INFG here. But yeah, like I said, I don't like the close. Let's see where the entry took place. Literally took place on this doji candle right there. So, yeah, we did put in that high. This high is protected. We tap into that gap, push lower, and then we just straight dump through it. And then another play I saw is, before we took out the sell side, it was pretty obvious we're gonna come for this previous day DOL on the sell side. And when looking for continuation, one thing that I saw was this. It looked pretty obvious. We get a 5 minute pullback. So we pull back into this 5 minute there. Yes, it's really low and deep in discount. But the reason why this is even considerable is because we pull up. We don't take that first trade here. We put in a massive wick. We don't quite inverse that 1 minute. And then we're essentially just generating LR here. And we put in a failure swing high, end up pushing lower. And if you waited for the 1 minute IFEG, you would have got fucked. You would have got a terrible ass entry. But if you took like a 30-second or something like this looked pretty good. I don't take setups like this, so I stayed out. Yeah, it's getting pretty late in the kill zone, so I stayed out of this. Not my style of trading, but definitely a setup that I saw. Looked pretty good. And then another setup we got was pump lower, hit the LR. This is more of a pattern trade. On the 1 minute, literally the only reason why I would consider this even being a trade, or going over this right now, I would have waited for like a 1-to-1, or maybe at least put stops like closer, aim for 1-to-1 as much as possible. The only reason why this is even considered good is the 30-second looked much better. We did sweep the higher time frame DOL, which was the previous day LR that we generated, and then we have LR right here. Maybe there's an unfilled gap. I would assume so. Okay, there's actually not at the time of entry, but yeah, we do have really good LR. I like this. Maybe if you don't want to take this, I think like just a discretional entry here, you can obviously see that we bounce out of this 30-second BPR here, right there, pretty smoothly, right? Maybe there's I'd assume there's a 15-second that we get. Not quite any 15-second, but dude, just entering off this alone. Yeah, closing inside OTE like that above EQ That's a pretty good sign. We have LR above. We have two sets of equal highs here, right there and up there. Will this already get, wait, okay, that did not get hit yet, yeah. This is a beautiful ass trade. If you took this, stops can really just be tight as fuck right here because there's no reason to go lower. We also bounce out of EQ at this range. Maybe even OTE, I don't know. All I know it's a discount, so that looks fucking beautiful. Stop rate at break even is lethal. But ends up getting hit pretty slow. 1, 2, 3, 4 on 4 minutes, but yeah, nice 1-to-1 R trade. This is a 1.5 if you took that setup. That's fucking beautiful, but yeah. As expected, you know, we just dumped pretty good amounts of the downside. Alright, from open down here, over about 500 points almost. Yeah, we hit lots of DOLs here to the south side, so I'm pretty much I'm not expecting distribution back up. I mean, we could knife lower, but I would assume this is where we would chop, and this is actually where we did end up chopping, so pretty much gonna wrap it up for this video. Probably a little bit lengthy. I went through this pretty slow, but just to briefly go over everything, we looked really bullish on the higher time frame, but there are some sell side targets like the data low, untapped hourly, Asia low that we kind of could assume that would get hit. So today was really conditional, wasn't really fixated on a buy as much, but we didn't get shorts off this. I didn't like shorts off of this. Everything was chopped here, but ended up dumping lower. We gave no entries up here. If you took an entry up here, you're just mad fucking impatient, in my opinion. But we dump lower, hit the data low, hit the Asia low, bounce out of this hourly, the 15-minute and everything, like super fucking bullish. And then at this point, we're already flipped bearish, right? We're 100% sold on bearish buys here just because we came close to that low. Got to pull back into, let me see if this was OTE or not. Shit did not hit OT. My fucking homeboy lied. But anyways, we're in premium, above 50%. I do like the entry model here. I will say it's not horrible. I like that we put in an order block as well. We had equal lows on 2 until 5 minutes to go break even at, but this just looked way too bullish. And yeah, I would have still taken this, but simply just the fact that ES looked so fucking bullish is the only reason why I faded this setup. That's the only reason, in my opinion. But not like I broke my rules or anything. I literally told myself I would sit out because I wasn't confident in it. So I'm glad I'm. If that would have lost, I would have 100% lost my shit. So that's how I know I followed my rules. Because if I lost this setup, I would have been so pissed that I even took it in the first place. So glad I stayed out. Not mad at it. Not mad at it. It just sucks seeing it play out like this, bro. Like fuck. And then we give an extra short this 5 minute, but I kind of have it programmed in my head that like, oh well, this was the break even point for the initial trade, so it kind of just turns that signal in my brain like this. I don't want to take this because it's too late. Even though it's a pretty valid and good entry, I would say it's much more confirmation than this first setup too. Because we're ended up pushing back lower into that hourly and the 15-minute, etc., etc. We're just overall going lower. Yeah, ends up closing down here below 50% mark. Yeah, we even put in this order block right here. Order block right there you could have used as a stop loss. Yeah, the 5 minute was really good. I will say I just don't like the close. And then like I said, I have it in my mind that since it was the break even point for my first trade, or the first trade, it's automatically kind of just shut off in my brain. So I gotta work on that. I will say that. And then after that, we gave this short. Don't trade like this, so I didn't take it. A short that I saw in hindsight, and not anything I would take, maybe on a funded, but yeah, it definitely looked really good looking back on it. But at this point in time, I was playing chess with the boys, right? I wasn't fucking on the market. I was just fucking around in the trading Discord. But anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. This is why I faded this setup. Messi's the GOAT, by the way. Lost my voice. Pretty good day, I will say. I was kind of mind boggled about this shit. I felt a lot of FOMO, but going back on this, I'm not too mad that I missed out. I had my reasons, stuck to my rules, and we'll just wait for better days. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. I don't know, but yeah, staying patient, not forcing anything, and yeah, I'm gonna be out. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's about it. This video is kind of dragging on too much, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. But yeah, I'm out. And yeah, Messi's the fucking GOAT. Peace.